Alright, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Back with another GMS on the go. I'm Brother Nakam.
Brother Nakwam.
Before we go any further, we like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachar Kodash.
Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching us this truth according to the Bible, and a double shalom to all the sister Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of your ability. And me and the brother Naquan was able to get up today, and we're just going to go into a lesson on how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, who are the real biblical Hebrew Israelites, are supposed to be in the house of mourning. So without further ado, we're going to dive right into it. Grab our first precept.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Right. The scripture said it is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting.
Speak up a little bit.
Right, kind. And we're in the house of feasting, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone to the men on down. You see, we're mourning at the fact that we're the last ones fired. I mean, we're mourning at the last one. It's like we're mourning at the fact that we're the last ones hired and the first ones fired.
Right.
We're mourning at the fact that we're living in the ghettos and the slums. We're mourning at the fact that, you know, we're being shot down by the police almost every day, and ain't nothing happened to these police officers. You see, we mourning at the fact that we eating GMO foods, drinking fluoride water, breathing in chemtrails, you know, in the air, the Esau spraying in the air. You know, we mourning at the fact that we watching two men and two women walk up and down the street holding hands, sodomy at an all-time high. You know, we mourning at the fact there's nothing but wicked acts going on here in America. So the scripture says it's better to go to the house of mourning rather than to the house of feasting. And what's the house of feasting? Being in that party spirit, you know, living life to the fullest by transgressing the laws that's commandments of the Bible. You know,
let me read it one more time. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Right, and what's the house of feasting? Once again, being in that party spirit.
Right.
Living life to the fullest by transgressing the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You see, living your best life. That's the house of feasting. So the scripture says it's better to go to the house of mourning rather than going to the house of feasting. And the scripture is going to go into why it's better to go to the house of mourning rather than to the house of feasting.
For that is the end of all men.
Right, you see? So going to the house of feasting, being in that party spirit, that's the end of all men. You see, because that's when something bad happens.
Right.
That's when you wind up getting yourself put to death because you're having too much fun, because you're living your best life, because you're in that party spirit. So it's better to go to the house of mourning rather than the house of feasting, because that's the end of all men. Read on.
Kind of, if I could chime in, yeah, that's the end of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man, and confusion of faces, because ultimately you're not serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said not to be in that party spirit, man, because we are still in our land of captivity, man. You know, so therefore we shouldn't be living it up here in America, man. That's being a sellout, man. And ultimately that's committing idolatry. You know, that's serving another God by doing what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? That's not the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know. That's a whole another spirit right there, man. You know? So that's the end of all, man. That's when we, like the brother was going into, man, being in that spirit, that demonic spirit, man, is going to get you put to death, man. Because why? Because that's going against Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Come, bro.
And it reads on, and the living will lay it to his heart.
Right, and the living which the elect, Lord, will be some men.
Right.
You know, we're going to lay it to our heart. Coming from the Hebrew word law, which means your mind. You see, we're going to know that we're not supposed to be in that party spirit. But, you know, but rather to be in the house of mourning.
Right.
Because the scripture said, going to the house of feasting, that's the end of all men. So we're going to lay it to our heart to know to go rather to the house of mourning and not the house of feasting. Jump down to verse 4.
Oh,
you got a precept?
Oh, no, I was going to Ecclesiastes 3. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
You good.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning.
Right. The mind of the wise
is
in the house of mourning. You see, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone to the men on down, you see, the mind of the wise is in the house of mourning. And you see, and again, we're mourning at the fact that we're catching nothing but straight hell here in America. You see, man with man, woman with woman, sodomy at an all-time high. You see, adultery going on at an all-time high. You know, all these abominable foods being pushed to all-time high. Right. Shrimp, pork, crab, lobster. Mm-hmm. You know, fluoride, us drinking fluoride water. You know, us eating GMO foods. Mm-hmm. You see? So the mind of the wise is in the house of mourning.
If I could chime in, right. And also we're in a time of mourning too, is because we're in a time of mourning because we repenting, man. We're feeling sorry for what we did, man. When we was in the world, man, for what we did in the world. You know, we're feeling sorry and we're mourning to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah every day to forgive us, man. Because that word pray go back to the word beg, man. So we're begging, we're pleading Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to forgive us for what we did in this life and our past lives, man. So we're constantly in the house of mourning, man. And also we're in this flesh, man. So you don't know when you're going off, man. We don't know when we're going off. We're not perfect, man. You know? So while we in this flesh, man, we're constantly mourning because we're constantly sinning against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah without us even knowing it, man. You know? So that's why we're in the state of mourning right now, and including what the brothers just went into. Okay. You know? And it reads on, but the heart of fools.
But the heart of fools, you know, which is a meatball, a blockhead,
a moron,
an imbecile, a jackass, a boon, a dunce, and so forth on. The mind of fools, 2/3 so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, read on,
is in the house of mirth.
Right, so 2/3 so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, y'all are fools because you're in the house of mirth. You know, you're always thinking everything is funny.
Right.
You know, always thinking everything is a game.
Right.
What's there to be laughing about? What's there to be mirthing about? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans are catching nothing but straight hell over here in America. You see? Esau, the so-called white man, got his foot up you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans' ass turned sideways.
Right.
Again, giving y'all GMO foods to eat, give you fluoride water to drink, you know, polluting the air, you know, and so forth on. So what's there to be mirthing about? Right. Ecclesiastes 7:7 says what? Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You can grab that real quick too.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Right. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So a wise man that's mad, who know he's being oppressed, he's not going to be in that house to feasting, be in that party spirit.
Right.
He's not going to be in the house of mirth, you know, thinking everything is funny.
Right.
A wise man who's mad, who knows he's being oppressed, is going to be in the house of mourning.
Right.
You see, a wise man that's mad, who knows he's being oppressed, you know, is going to be in the house of mourning because he's going to be mourning about, you know, everything that goes on in America that goes against the scriptures. You see? So if you're a wise man, you're going to be mad. You're not going to be in that party spirit. You're not going to be, you know, laughing and thinking everything is funny. You see, because you know that you being oppressed, you know you're catching straight hell. Showing you that this is not you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans' rest. You're not supposed to be comfortable here in America. Read on.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Micah 2:10. And a gift destroys the heart. You see, because Esau, the so-called white man, he'll give you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans a gift. You know, he'll bribe y'all with a present. You see, and then y'all let that gift that Esau gave y'all let it go to your head. You see, now you forgetting about that you being oppressed. You see, you don't think that Esau, the so-called white man, is your enemy no more because you got a little bit of money now, or you got a car, or you got a job. You see, all because you got a little gift. So now that gift then destroyed your mind.
I'm going to get Ecclesiastes 3, the third chapter.
3 and 1?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get that so we can stick to the lesson. Gone. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, so there's a season, and there's a time to every purpose under heaven. Jump down to verse 4.
4. I was looking for
Hold on. What is it? The time of wheat?
Yeah, verse 4.
Yep.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. To everything there is a season and a purpose, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance.
Right, so right now is the time and season for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans to be weeping and mourning.
Right.
You see, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, you're supposed to be weeping and mourning, you know, again, at everything that goes on here in America. You know, which goes against the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible. You know, all these bottom foods being pushed to an all-time high. Adultery being pushed to an all-time high. You know, what else? Worshiping all these false gods who are no gods. You know, to an all-time high, such as Allah, Buddha, the Hindu goddess Shiva, Santa Maria, you know, and so forth on. You see all these pagan holidays, you know, such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and so forth on. You see, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, you should be weeping and mourning over what's going on here in America, which goes against the scriptures. Mm-hmm. So right now, the time and season for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans to be weeping and mourning. You see, because the time of laughing and dancing, that's going to come in the kingdom. That's when you're going to be able to sit back, you know, enjoy your wives, you know, enjoy the brotherhood, enjoy your kids, you know, sit back and drink a glass of wine and enjoy it. That's going to come in the kingdom. But right now, the time for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans to weep and mourn.
Get the Matthews and close out on Matthews.
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 4. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Right. Blessed are those men who are mourning right about now for righteousness' sake, for everything that's going on. Because soon come, those same men that's mourning for righteousness' sake, they're going to be comforted. And we're already being comforted right now with this word. But we're really going to be comforted when we get in the kingdom. You see? Because we're going to be back in power. We're going to be ruling again. You see? So blessed are those men right now that's mourning for righteousness' sake. Because soon come, they're going to be comforted. Showing you that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans are supposed to be mourning. You're supposed to be mourning right about now. This isn't you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans rest, according to Micah 2:10, but we'll say that for another time.
Yeah, and also bless the men of the Lord that's mourning out here, man. That's why Ezekiel 9:4 is going to come to pass when it says, set a mark on them, on the foreheads of them that sign and cry for all the abominations to be done in the midst thereof, man. That's those who are mourning, man. That's why Lord Yahweh says, blessed are those that mourn, man. The mourning of the state of our people, the mourning of all the wickedness that's going on, man. Our people getting shot down in the streets, man, like they're nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got the northern kingdom, you know what I'm saying, getting shot down at the border, building up the wall and stuff like that in their own country. You know what I'm saying? They being called immigrants in their own country that they got kicked out of. You know what I'm saying? We getting mistreated. We getting abused.
Taking our, you know, when we get paid on Friday, they already took money out of our check before we even get it.
Get taxed. Yeah. They took our identity. They took our heritage. You know what I'm saying? We mourning for all these things that's going on, man. Why? Because Yahweh shall open our minds to receive all these things, man. That's why we're constantly in a state of mourning. That's why we're wearing the garment of sackcloth right now, man. Because we're mourning, man. Of all the things that happened to our people, man, because what we did makes us mourn every single day, man. You know, the things that we did, man, sinning against Yahweh Shai, we're supposed to be ashamed of what we did, man. That's why we're in the state of mourning, man, of feeling sorry for what we did. You know, that's why that's why the Lord Yahweh said, "Blessed are they that mourn," because we're gonna be comforted, man. Because in the kingdom, you're pretty much gonna be like, it's all right. That's the time when the Lord gonna be, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's behind you, man. It's behind you. You know, it's behind us. You know, that was then and this is now. You made it on the other side. You know, so that's when we're gonna get confident, when we get delivered on those chariots, man. Whether we have to be delivered or whether we have to be martyrs, man. You know, we're gonna finally be comforted, man. You know, at last.
Time, bro.
That's all I wanted to say.
Time. So with that, hope you've been edified. It's been another GMS on the go. I'm Brother Nakum.
Brother Naquam.
Before we go any further, we'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching us this truth according to the Bible, and a double shalom to all the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of your ability. With that, shalom.
Shalom. Kwame Asher Allah.